The auditorium was filled with electric anticipation, the kind of restless excitement that hangs in the air before something unforgettable happens. Cameras flashed, fans whispered, and the lights dimmed as Oprah Winfrey took her seat across from a young political figure who had been making waves across the nation, John Kennedy, the senator known for his sharp wit and old-fashioned charm. But no one expected what would unfold next, a fiery exchange that would silence the room and, by the end, leave the audience in tears and thunderous applause. It all began with laughter. Oprah, in her signature confidence and humor, teased Kennedy about his straightforward Southern style and his folksy one-liners that had become viral sensations online. "You know, John," she chuckled, "some people say you sound like a walking country proverb machine. Do you ever worry people don't take you seriously, that they might see you as, well, a bit of a joke?" The audience gasped. Some laughed nervously, unsure if she'd gone too far. Kennedy, known for his calm composure, sat still, hands folded, eyes steady. For a moment, it seemed he might laugh it off, dodge the jab, or make a clever retort. But then he leaned forward, voice low and steady, and said something no one would forget. "Ma'am," he began, "I'd rather be laughed at for telling the truth than applauded for living a lie." The crowd went silent. Even Oprah blinked, momentarily speechless. Kennedy continued, his tone shifting from gentle humor to raw honesty. "You see," he said, "I come from a place where people don't have time for fancy words. My folks worked hard, dirt under the nails kind of hard, and they taught me that plain talk isn't ignorance, it's honesty. So if that makes me a joke to some, then maybe we've forgotten what real people sound like." The emotion in his voice was unmistakable. The laughter that once filled the room faded into thoughtful silence. Oprah, ever the professional, nodded slowly, sensing the depth of his sincerity. "You know," she said softly, "that's powerful." But Kennedy wasn't finished. He told a story, one that would turn the light-hearted moment into something profoundly human. He spoke about a letter he received from a single mother in Louisiana, who thanked him for speaking in words her children could understand. She said, he recalled, "Senator, when you talk, it feels like my daddy's still here, telling me everything's gonna be okay." The audience stirred, several wiping away tears. Kennedy's voice cracked slightly, but he pressed on. "So no, Miss Winfrey, I don't mind being called a joke, because if my words can reach people who feel forgotten, then I'm proud to be the punchline." What began as a light-hearted interview had turned into a powerful reflection on humility, authenticity, and the growing disconnect between leaders and the people they serve. Oprah, moved by his response, extended her hand and said, "John, I think a lot of people tonight just remembered why they still believe in good people." The crowd erupted, not in laughter this time, but in heartfelt applause. It wasn't just for Kennedy's words, but for the truth they carried, the reminder that strength doesn't come from polish or perfection, but from honesty and heart. As the show ended, cameras captured something rare: Oprah, visibly emotional, thanking Kennedy for his courage and sincerity. "In a world where everyone's trying to sound smarter," she said, "you just reminded us how powerful it is to sound real." The clip went viral within hours. Millions watched, rewatched, and shared it across social media, praising the senator's authenticity and Oprah's grace in allowing the conversation to turn genuine. But more than the viral fame, it was the message that lingered, that respect isn't earned by eloquence, it's earned by truth. In a time when public discourse often feels scripted and shallow, that one exchange between a media icon and a plain-spoken senator reminded the world of something timeless, that humility still has power, and that sometimes, the most profound wisdom comes wrapped in simple words. And as the lights dimmed and the cameras stopped rolling, one thing was certain, no one in that audience would ever call John Kennedy a joke again. Moral: real strength lies not in how loudly we speak, but in how truthfully we do it.